In a small, humid courtroom in the heart of a southern town, a moment unfolded that would ripple through the community and beyond, sparking debates, protests, and a reckoning with the systems that govern justice. It began with a routine hearing, one of countless cases clogging the dockets of a county courthouse, but ended with an act so bold, so unthinkable, that it left everyone, lawyers, spectators, even the judge himself, speechless. A black woman, known to the town as a quiet but resolute figure, stood at the defendant's table, facing charges that seemed minor but carried the weight of a system stacked against her. Then in a flash, a police officer's hand met her face, and the air in the room seemed to freeze. What happened next defied every expectation. She didn't cower, didn't retreat. Instead, she walked to the judge's bench, sat in a seat, and declared her own kind of justice. Her name was Angela Harris, a 38-year-old single mother of two who had lived her entire life in the town of Fairmont, Georgia. Angela was no stranger to struggle. She worked long hours as a nurse's aide at the local hospital, her hands steady as she cared for patients, her heart heavy with the knowledge that her paycheck barely covered rent, groceries, and the school supplies her children needed. She was a woman who kept her head down, not out of fear, but out of necessity, surviving in a town where the lines of power were drawn long before she was born. The courtroom, with its peeling paint and flickering fluorescent lights, was not a place she'd ever wanted to be. Yet there she stood on that sweltering July morning, facing a charge of disorderly conduct stemming from an incident at a local grocery store. The trouble had started 3 weeks earlier. Angela had been shopping for her family, her cart half full with discounted produce and canned goods, when a store clerk accused her of shoplifting. The accusation was baseless. She'd paid for every item, her receipt clutched tightly in her hand, but the clerk's tone was sharp, and the manager's quick arrival only escalated the situation. Words were exchanged, not violent but heated, as Angela defended herself. A bystander called the police, and soon 2 officers arrived, their presence drawing a small crowd. The officers didn't ask for her side of the story. Instead, they handcuffed her in front of her children, who watched wide-eyed from the store's entrance. The charge of disorderly conduct was a catch-all, vague enough to stick, but flimsy enough to frustrate anyone trying to fight it. In the courtroom, Angela stood alone. She couldn't afford a lawyer, so she prepared her own defense, scribbling notes on a legal pad she'd borrowed from a friend. Her hair was pulled back neatly, her navy blazer borrowed from a co-worker to make her look presentable. She'd spent nights rehearsing what she'd say, determined to clear her name. The judge, Harold Grayson, was a fixture in Fairmont, a man in his late 60s with a reputation for being fair but impatient. He'd seen cases like Angela's before, minor charges, overworked defendants, a system churning through people like paperwork. He called her case number, and Angela stepped forward, her voice steady as she began to explain. "Your Honor," she said, "I wasn't causing disturbance. I was defending myself. The clerk accused me of stealing, but I had my receipt. I showed it to the officers, but they didn't listen. I just want to clear this up for my kids."